You got your Pacers here in the finals. Smitty's grew up watching them, obviously. Where you at with this this matchup, man? Two long perimeter defensive playing teams who can hit the three. Are you happy to see this matchup between them and OKC? Are they the two best teams right now, obviously, in the finals, but are these two the most deserving teams this year?
Yeah, I would say OKC has been the best team in the league throughout the season from start to finish. And I would say the Pacers are probably right there with them in terms of the hottest team throughout the playoffs. Yeah. Right. So you talk about getting hot at the right time. That's exactly what the Pacers have been able to do.
No doubt. Is it going to come down to them still in a game on the road in OKC like they have throughout these playoffs? I mean, they've shocked everybody by winning one, if not two, on the road right out the gate. Are they going to have to do the same thing in this thing?
Yeah, there's no question. They're going to have to do that. And then I think what they did in Game 6 against the Knicks, they're going to have to not just that they won the game, it's how they won the game in terms of how hard they played. Like all the intangibles of the game is what you're going to have to bring on a nightly basis against this OKC team because they do play so hard and they just keep rolling dogs off the bench and they just keep coming in waves. But I think that's also the Pacers' strength as well in terms of their depth.
No doubt. And before Smitty goes off, let me ask you one thing. We saw Thibodeau get fired last night, 3 days after your Pacers beat them. We saw Mike Malone, who just won a title year removed, get fired this year for Denver. Is this, when you played and got drafted in 2000, is this kind of just what is player empowerment tenfold from then till now? Is this a player-driven deal as far as who comes in and coaches, who gets out of coaching? Like, is this player empowerment or is this just the Knicks and them being, Bill Dolan?
Yeah, real quick, I went undrafted, man. I had to go grind it out and make a team. So just
you went to Vegas, right? You went to the Vegas.
Yeah, man. You name it, I played it.
No, I saw your resume. I'm like, you play everywhere.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to get through it, but I didn't get drafted. I had to go grind it out. But
hey, you made it though. Same thing to me.
Yeah, no, it's all love. I appreciate it. But definitely in terms of like what they're going to do here, in this particular series now, and what they've done. I mean, it's going to be a fight, right? It's going to be an absolute fight in terms of how they go out and get that done. I think the depth is going to work for both teams. I think that it's going to be a team who has to play each possession at a super high level, like. The game within the game, it's also possessions inside the possessions. Like OKC is a team that gets from one play to the next, to the next, to the next, like as if it's the first play. And that's what the Pacers will have to do to compete.
Tyrese Haliburton, I know he was voted, I think, the most overrated player coming, I think, into the season, amongst his peers. And we've seen how he's been performing throughout these playoffs, man, being a straight just star, going out there playing with no fear at all, clutch shots. I guess you covering the Pacers, are you at all surprised by what we've all been seeing in these playoffs, or is this something that you've kind of expected or known from Tyrese Haliburton throughout the season?
He's done this throughout the season in terms of these big plays, big shots, those types of things. He embraces those moments. But to this level, like we've seen some things that are some historic games in terms of how they've come back, shots that were made. Oftentimes we make hyperbolic comments about, we've never seen this before. We've never seen that before. No, actually, we haven't seen some of the things that this team has done in this playoff stretch. So it's kind of crazy. But in terms of the confidence that they play with, we know how important that is. You're not at all surprised by the ability to own those possessions, own those moments, and take those shots with confidence.
How can the Pacers slow down SGA? Like, I think that's because I look at these two teams and we've talked about it, here. I think there's a lot of similarities, like you said, with the depth. They can both run, they play hard on defense, et cetera. But the one difference is that OKC, they have the MVP. And this guy has been hooping all year long. From your just basketball mindset, what are some things the Pacers can do to at least slow him down and make things difficult for him?
Now, I'll say this. The Pacers right now in the middle of the gauntlet. Right, they are going through the gauntlet. When you think about first round, they had to deal with Giannis. Mm-hmm. The second round, they had to deal with Donovan Mitchell. In the Eastern Conference Final, they had to deal with Jalen Brunson. Yeah. And now you get the MVP and SGA. So to some degree, you're prepared for this moment, but each of those players are all different in their own right. SGA does it in a variety of ways. He's 3-level scorer, gets to the free throw line better than anybody. So I think what you have to do with all great players is you got to get to them before they get to you. In terms of try to get in his face, slow him down, and try to have some influence on where he goes with the basketball. If he's able to play in space and play off of defensive angles, he's going to foul 2 or 3 guys out the game, and he's going to end up with 40, right? So you got to try, and it's easier for us to talk about this via Zoom versus getting on the floor and actually executing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but that's what it's about, right? And when you get to this moment, you got to know it's not going to be easy. It's a challenge, and it's something I think, guys like Neesmith, Nembhard, Ben Shepherd coming off the bench, all those guys are embracing this challenge.
Who's the key in this thing, in your opinion? You got a champion. The only championship coach remaining, obviously, has won one. Sitting there in Carlisle, and then you got a guy like the role players, I guess Siakam, who's won one as well in Toronto. Are those two things going to carry a lot of weight in this thing, or do you see like a McConnell or something being a key that comes off the bench and ends up being there's always something in the finals. We already know in the finals there's always some guy that you're like, damn, whether it's a block shot or something that changes the game. Do you see anything critical, either a bench player or is it like a Siakam who's won one, being the guy to get this done?
Well, we've highlighted the depth, right? That's going to be a battle. Whose depth will kind of really come out stronger than the other. So I think that's a component. Siakam is just coming off of Eastern Conference Finals not only just a championship, but he's the MVP. So don't get it twisted. That guy gets it done. He's not shooting the ball from the logo. He's not running in the lane, jumping all over everybody. He's just killing on a nightly basis. Very, very strategic in how he's killing people. But I think in terms of the X factors, it sounds like what you're asking. Miles Turner might be that guy. That matchup with him and Hartenstein, keeping Hartenstein off the glass, being able to pull Hartenstein away from the basket with his 3-point shooting ability, and then also OKC sometimes goes to this all guards lineup, right? And it's like Caruso was guarding Nikola Jokic, in the Denver series for not long stretches, but sometimes he was guarding him and he was giving him fits. So they do a lot of different things with that lineup. But I think from a Pacers perspective, Miles could be a difference maker.
How good? Last thing. So how good is that defense? Like how good? They're saying this team is historically great on defense. OKC. How, if you as a former player, you're looking at this team, how they switch, how they play the perimeter, like you said, all guard lineup, and a guy going out there and playing a joker like that. How good is this defense from a former player's perspective? Is this defense really like all time high?
Yeah, it's as good as it gets. I mean, I won't compare it to any other defense, but right now they are very good. It's like I like to watch it. I enjoy watching it because of how they just swarm the ball handlers. They just swarm the opposing team, and what you cannot do is try to hold the basketball or pound the air out of the ball because they just corral you, end up turning you over, and they're scoring on the other end. But what and this is the battle of wills, right? This is what the Pacers are really good at: ball movement, player movement, cutting, screen setting, getting the ball up the floor fast, and then transition and trying to probe for something good early. If they don't get something good early, they still move the ball and they put pressure on the defense. So that's what you have to do against a defense like this. When you hold it, it's curtains, right? They're gonna get a stop, and then they're scoring on the other end. You got to try to avoid these 15, 16, 17-point bursts that the Thunder is capable of, and oftentimes it's because teams are holding the ball or dribbling too much.
Yeah, so a question came to me yesterday while I was at work, and I thought it was a crazy question, being a guy who's from Indy and understands the history of the Pacers. But someone said, if the Pacers go on to win this NBA Finals, and we assume Haliburton continues to do what he's doing, does he surpass Reggie Miller as an all-time great Pacer? Because since he's brought a championship to Indiana and Reggie couldn't do it?
In a word, no.
Right.
Because as much as I value championships, I also value tenure, the amount of the length of time that you're able to get something done, and then also respect the fact that championships, especially on what we do, it's a team sport. So unless your name is Serena Williams, Michael Phelps, Tiger Woods, championships, as while they mean a lot to me, they mean less to me in terms of an individual legacy. When you're playing a team sport. So
no doubt.
So I don't think he surpasses him, but he's certainly on the right track because he hadn't hit 25 yet. I don't think.
Ooh.
Yeah, no doubt. That's it. Let me ask you this. I can't thank you enough for hopping on here this morning. Let me ask you real quick. What favors Indiana in this series? Is it a shorter series, like 5, and them getting it or they have to go to a 7 to win this thing? What do you see favors them? A longer series or a shorter one for them to win it?
Man, that's a good question. They've won it in many different ways. The first couple series they were 4-1, and then they beat Knicks 4-2. But I think based on their resiliency and to get through adverse moments, the longer it goes, I think the greater opportunity they have because they thrive in those moments, right? They thrive against adverse moments. They thrive when their back's against the wall, and it seems like, man, it doesn't look like they're going to get it done. But the more they hang in and get an opportunity, I think they thrive and have a great opportunity to come out on top.
They got to split though, at least, huh?
Yeah. You're gonna have to get something done in OKC for sure at some point. Whether it's now, whether it's Game 5,
right.
You're gonna have to get something done in OKC's building, and they have one of the most exciting environments throughout the league. I enjoy their building. It's a real collegiate atmosphere.
We do.
OKC is as far as I know, unless there's something going on here I don't know about. It's the only show in town.
Yeah.
But man, they support the heck out of that team. And the Pacers do the same.
It's kind of both ways though. They're both like Indiana. It's a little bit more to do with Indiana than OKC, but still, like it's you played for the Pacers. That's a basketball city, basketball town.
No doubt.
So it's like two college style environments, man. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, both environments are incredibly fun to play in.
And this team's earned the home court advantage, being the best team in the NBA all year long, like you stated when we started it. And like it's easy to say, well, if they just win their home games, they're the champ. In 7, they'll win their home game. Is it that easy though to say that and win your home games against a team like this who's been a road killer this year with the Knicks and Cleveland and so on? So it's gonna be interesting to see this thing unfold. But are you in town watching? Are you there calling it there, or are you at home? Oh, you are?
I'm here. I'm in a hotel right now. They got some media availability later on and practice later, and tomorrow that premium popcorn is going to start popping.
Now, were you on the same flight that was diverted because of a tornado?
Yeah, we circled the city for a minute. The pilot came on. He took good care of us. He tried to land it, just try to avoid the weather. Obviously, it's tis the season here in OKC is what I hear.
Yeah.
Tornadoes and rough storms. So flew around a little bit, try to sneak in where we could. He couldn't do it, so I think we went to Tulsa, fueled up, and then popped back in. So it was fortunate for us, we never felt it. Right, turbulence was kept to a minimum, and I'm grateful they did a good job keeping us out of harm's way.
I'm glad you guys are okay, man. I saw that. I'm like, damn, what's going on, man? We have a weather guy who comes on our show sometime. He ain't even warned us, so I was
he screwed us. He did OKC and does tornado weather, and he screwed us over. So.